Intel 4G.
Intel.
Live more.
Joining us on Nationwide, I'm Ruth Aguena. Before we begin, let's remind you that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website. It's nta.ng/live and all other of our social media platforms displayed on the screen. President Muhammadu Buhari earlier today in Hajj, Kaduna State, celebrated the sacrifices and successes of the Nigerian military in defending the country courageously. Speaking at the graduation ceremony of 247 students of the Senior Course 44 of the Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Hajj, the President praised the diligence of the armed forces in the fight against terrorism and pledged that his government would continue to provide the needed support required to wipe out terrorists from the country. President Buhari, who noted that most of the security challenges facing the world are asymmetric and trans-border in nature, expressing delight that international officers from sister African countries are among the graduating students. The Nigerian leader affirmed that ongoing collaboration between the armed forces of Nigeria, Cameroon, Niger Republic, Benin Republic and Chad has been productive, commendable and successful. President Buhari also commended the commandant and his team for transforming the graduating students into highly refined products and for the ongoing work to expand and upgrade the facilities of the college. To other issues, Ondo State Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu has assented to the First Amendment Bill of the State Security Network, codenamed Amotekun Corps. This was at the State Executive Council meeting. Abiola Ario will tell us about it.
Briefing journalists after the State Executive Council meeting, Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Mrs. Bamidele Olateju, said deliberation was on the Owagon attack, explaining that after the mass burial, one person died, making the number of deaths increase to 41, while 17 people are still receiving treatment in the hospitals and the rest discharged.
Right now, the government is working on giving assistance to the victims of the Owo attack. And there are plans afoot for constructing a fitting memorial, as you are aware of. A lot of work has been done in that regard, and you will hear the details in due course.
Special Advisor to the Governor on Security and Commander Amotekun Corps, Adetunji Adeleye, said government is reviewing security issues in the state, hence the assent of the bill of the Amotekun Corps.
We want to very deeply appreciate the support that the Corps has been receiving from the state government, especially in the provision of an enabling law that carries the operations of the.
He noted that the amended law would enhance the security architecture of the state and help the Corps perform better. In Akure, Abiola Rio, NTA News.
INEC officials involved in the continuous voter registration exercise were attacked by unknown gunmen in a community primary school in Umuopu, Ward 19 of Ibueze North local government area of Enugu State on Wednesday, July 12. A statement from INEC indicates that the gunmen fired sporadically into the air to disperse registrants and registration officials. In the ensuing stampede, one INEC staff sustained injuries and is receiving treatment in a hospital. However, 2 voter registration machines and personal items of the staff, such as mobile phones, were lost. Consequently, ward-level registration of voters in Ibozi North is hereby suspended. The Defence Headquarters has upscaled measures to further secure the Kuje Custodial Centre and ensure the arrest of fleeing escapees. Director, Defence Media Operations, Brigadier General Bernard Onyeako, stated this at a news conference in Abuja. Major General Onyeako expressed that troops are on the trail of the escapees.
A lot is being done. First of all, to safeguard the prison, which has been done. But for the updates, general updates, I think we should exercise more patience so that the arrests that have been going on, which some of you have even captured in your various media, certainly there will be a general update that in due course.
Information from the Kuje Correctional Center indicates that 443 escapees have been recaptured, including 2 high-profile Boko Haram members. The federal government has been called upon to declare a state of emergency in all custodial facilities across the nation to avoid a reoccurrence of jail attacks. Guest on NT's Good Morning Nigeria, who made the appeal, also stressed the need for relevant agencies to always act fast on all intelligence. Let's get a report from Thomas Ogbetere.
Incessant attacks on custodial centers across Nigeria and the unlawful release of high-risk offenders head for various criminal offenses into the society, with the most recent in Kuje, has no doubt become a source of concern to Nigerians. Therefore, guests on Good Morning Nigeria are of the opinion that laxity of staff, too many inmates in detention without trials, and not acting fast on intelligence, as well as lack of double perimeter fencing at the custodial centers, contribute to their vulnerability.
As early as May, I started picking up chatter in Kuje that there were foreign, adversaries, persons, and we know that there were bandits who were attacking residents, abducting them. Now, additional persons joined those bandit groups. They were not working together with them, and that is when someone within that system should have picked up that intelligence.
If you study the environment further and you juxtapose it with what you see in other climes, a situation where you have a custodial facility that is housing highly prized individuals, there are features that were obviously absent.
The guests suggested speedy criminal justice administration, fortification of custodial centers, among others, as the way forward.
Provisions of the Nigerian Correctional Service Act of 2019 that should help us forestall what happened in Kuje and other places have not been put in place.
We have had prison breaks in the past, and I'm sure we'll constitute committee panels to study what happened and bring reports. I think it's about time for the NSA, for instance, to review those reports.
They called for increase in budgetary allocation, the political will, deliberate policy and collaborative efforts by all tiers and arms of government in addressing the issues. In Abuja, Thomas Ogbetere, NTA News.
All right, we're heading to Lagos to join Hingino. She'll pick up from there. Hingino.
Thank you, Ruth. A special offences court sitting in Ikeja, Lagos, has sentenced popular Nollywood star Olarewaju Omiyinka, also known as Baba Ijesha, to 16 years imprisonment. This followed his conviction by Justice Oluwatoyin Taiwo on 4 out of 6 counts charge of sexual assault of a child filed against him. Adeni Taiwo reports that his prison term is to run concurrently for 5 years. Henceforth, only online application will be accepted for processing of international passport at immigration offices across the country. Minister of Interior Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, who stated this during an unscheduled visit to the Alausa Passport Office of the Nigeria Immigration Service in Lagos, said the decision is in furtherance of the passport reforms embarked upon by the federal government. Adeni Taiwo again reports.
This is the situation at the Nigeria Immigration Service Passport Office, Alausa, where a milling crowd of applicants was trying to process their passports before the Minister of Interior, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, came calling unannounced. His first engagement on arrival was to feel their pulse and apologize for the delay caused by the 2-day public holiday, which had resulted in a backlog of applicants scheduled for appointments.
So I expected that they will send an email and say, okay, because it's a holiday, let's push your thing for me. Not be here for hours. That's about is the fault of the managers of our online application system and those that are supposed to inform you through SMS and email. Going forward henceforth, appointments will not be given on any public holiday.
Then came the more important business of explaining how the new passport reform can help in achieving seamless issuance process.
I want to appeal to to show the attraction of the technical of patronizing cow in uniform. We don't need them. This reform is to eliminate human to human contacts in the passport application process.
While noting that the Immigration Service holds every applicant a duty of courtesy, the minister warned officials against unnecessary manipulation of the process to exploit applicants. In Lagos, Adeni Iteho, NTA News.
Journey set to be viewed by additional 200 million subscribers across the globe once the partnership between the federal government and the world-renowned subscription-based streaming company Amazon Prime Video fully materializes. Minister of Information and Culture, Lai.
It is the battle of the biggest subscription streaming platform between Amazon Prime Video and Netflix, because there is a sense of incompleteness in airtime when Nigerian contents are missing. The need to bridge this gap necessitated this meeting between Amazon Prime Video. The minister believes the success of Nollywood is making Nigerian videos a force to be reckoned with on the global stage, but attracting long-term investment requires this kind of collaboration. Under the partnership, the streaming company will not only acquire and promote Nigerian contents, but equally offer technical assistance that can facilitate winning of major awards across the world.
When our contents are acquired and they are shown globally, then our artists are enriched. When our artists are enriched, they are encouraged to produce more films. They will create more jobs, there will be more revenue for government.
Nigeria is a country blessed with rich historical and cultural experiences, but the minister believes 10% of the people's stories have not been told, and this platform will offer the much needed technological support.
We do not want a situation whereby Amazon will just come here, take our content, produce, and go with no. We want Amazon to also contribute to the growth of industry in terms of capacity building and in terms of transferring technology to our people.
To this subscription-based streaming company, Nigeria presents the much-needed platform to showcase to the world the best of contents emanating from Africa.
How can we continue to mutually support the growth and maturation of the ecosystem here in terms of capacity building, in terms of supporting career growth and career opportunities for emerging and established filmmakers, and whether we're talking in front of the camera or behind the camera talent that support the creation of that content. So there are a number of opportunities that we're discussing and collaborating around.
As a starting point to a long-lasting and rewarding relationship, the US-based streaming company will launch its services in Nigeria by August. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NTA News.
That's our contribution from here. Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Felicia in Jos is set to bring us stories from that zone after this break.
Harmony of biodiversity destroyed, birthing climate crisis and crying faces.
Dicey situation indeed, yet we carry on like a bull in a china shop.
On environment matters, we take the bull by the horns, comb the nooks and cranny of Nigeria.
Asking tough questions,
examining challenges and opportunities,
giving human face to the science, facts, facts, and global agreements. It's a call for action. Don't miss it.
Join award-winning environmental journalist Jennifer Igwe and other NTA Eco reporters for Environment Matters.
The Lone Executive Council, under the leadership of Pastor Dr. E.S. Awojide, JP, National Vice President, TACN and Lona Territorial Chairman, and the Apostolic Church Nigeria, Abuja FCT Area Lona Territory, under the leadership of Pastor J.O.A. Fadigbe, Abuja FCT Area Superintendent, Metro Areas Chairman and Convener, invite the general public to the 23rd FCT Annual Convention. Theme, No Man Can Serve Two Masters. Date, Friday 15th to Sunday 17th July 2022. Friday 4 p.m., Saturday and Sunday 9 a.m. respectively. Venue, the Apostolic Church Nigeria, Abuja FCT Area Headquarters, Plot 494, Durumi District, Garki, Abuja FCT. Come and be blessed. Overseer S.O. Adebite, Convention Committee Secretary, and Pastor L.O. Adeyemo, Convention Committee Chairman, announcers.
The broadcast media ecosystem is dynamic and requires continuous training for practitioners to perform optimally. NTA Television College, Jos, invites relevant officers to the following specially packaged training programs. Intermediate Online News Reporting Skills, date 13th July to 5th August 2022, 4 weeks. Sports Coverage and Reporting Skills in the Mass Media, date 13th July to 22nd July 2022, 2 weeks. Basic Camera Operation Techniques, date 1st August to 26th August 2022, 4 weeks. Advanced Broadcast Accounting and Auditing, date 15th August to 9th September 2022, 4 weeks. Transmitter Operations and Maintenance, date 22nd August to 26th August 2022, 1 week. Workforce Intelligence, Key to Organizational Effectiveness and Efficiency, date 5th September to 16th September 2022, 2 weeks. The course fee for 1 week courses is 100,000 naira per participant. The fee for 2 weeks courses is 150,000 naira, while the course fee for 4 weeks courses is 180,000 naira only, accommodation inclusive. The venue for all courses is the serene and secure environment of NTA Television College near Old Government House, Rayfield, Jos. For more inquiries, please call 0803-079-5335 or 0806-9809-807. NTA TV College, Jos, training you to be the best you want to be.
Lalo, Nigeria are the 9th champions in this competition.
The 12th edition of the Africa Women's Cup of Nations is here with 12 teams including reigning champions and 9-time winners, Super Falcons of Nigeria, all in contention from July 2 to 23 in Rabat, Morocco. You can catch all the actions live on the NTA Network Service and NTA Sports 24, Channel 270 on Star Times, 434 on StarSat and 731 on Free TV. Come, join us to promote another championship run by the Super Falcons. For your advert placement, please call Hawa on 0803-312-1022. Africa Women's Cup of Nations, Rabat 2022. Game on!
Still watching nationwide on the network service of the NTA. Welcome to Jos. The Irigwe and Fulani communities in Bassa local government say the dark days of violent conflicts between them are over, as they have made sincere commitment to live in peace and harmony with one another. This formed the crux of the symbolic signing of the expression of commitment to peace between the two communities in Jebu Bassa, which was witnessed by Plateau State Governor Simon Bakulalong and other key players. Priscilla Grumnan reports.
We are also working to sign the commitment of peace between the European and Fulani.
These are key representatives of the Miango and Fulani communities in Bassa, restating commitment to coexist peacefully against the backdrop of the conflict that had ravaged the two communities in recent past. Plateau State Peace Building Agency and the State Interreligious Council, who are facilitating the peace process, lauded the two communities for taking up the initiative to put the past behind them and forge a common front towards peaceful coexistence. Governor Simon Lalong says he is happy at the resolve of the communities to share their common humanity as he pledges government's commitment towards implementation of the peace documents.
For us, this document is the basis on which all future intervention, whether state or local actors in Bassa local community, will be engaged. We are ready. The integrated plan as an agreement. These unique communities have come together to do an extraordinary thing for peace. And we will thank the committee also for their sacrifice.
Other key players emphasized the need for the two communities to abide by the commitment made in order not to have a repeat of the ugly happenings of the past. In Jos, Priscilla Gumnan, NTA News.
Inspector General of Police Usman Alkali Baba says the federal government's policy of recruiting 10,000 police constables annually is to bequeath to the country a reformed and well-positioned police force with renewed capacity to attain its internal security mandate. This was during the passing out parade of the 2020 batch of police recruits in Jos. Bilkis Nuhu has details.
Addressing the graduating police constables comprising 425 males and 74 females, the Inspector General of Police represented says the event marks the climax of a physically exciting and intellectually challenging training activities. He says the officers were given the right orientation to meet the challenges of policing an increasingly democratic and rule of law driven Nigerian environment. It also represents another huge step in the drive by the federal government to change the narratives of policing by addressing the age-long manpower gap that has been inhibiting optimal police service delivery in the country.
The federal government policy of recruiting 10,000 police constables annually is very, very remarkable in the history of law enforcement in Nigeria. It clearly confirms the commitment of Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the Chairman of the Police Council to restore the lost police primacy.
The recruitment was spread across 774 local government areas of the country in due regards to the federal character tenets. Out of the 499 police constables, 253 are from Plateau State. In Jos, Bilkis Nuhu, NTA News.
And that's it from Jos. Ruth is back to you in Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Thank you, Felicia. The National Population Commission's Federal Commissioner in charge of Zamfara State, Muhammad Mutaka Rini, says adequate arrangement has been made to ensure successful conduct of the ongoing trial census in all the 45 enumeration areas across the state, despite the prevailing security challenges. Rini made the remarks while inspecting the conduct of the exercise in Gusau local government area of the state. Let's get details from Jamilu Ibrahim.
The trial census, also known as census dress rehearsal, is a key preparatory activity for the forthcoming 2023 fully digital census in the country. The National Population Commission Federal Commissioner representing Zamfara State, Muhammad Mutaka Rini, who alongside other officials briefed newsmen on the trial census, said adequate arrangement has been made to ensure the success of the exercise in 45 enumeration centers across the selected 9 local government areas of the state. He said working tools have been distributed to the enumeration officers who are expected to visit all residential and non-residential buildings within the enumeration areas for the exercise. Meanwhile, the NPC Federal Commissioner, accompanied by Zamfara State Trial Census Coordinator and other officials, has monitored the conduct of the exercise in Madawaki ward of Goso local government area. Rini, who maintained that the exercise will avail the Commission with the opportunity to test every aspect of the forthcoming 2023 census operations, appealed to people in the state to cooperate with the enumerators for the success of the exercise. He expressed confidence that the exercise will be conducted peacefully in all parts of Zamfara State, despite the prevailing security challenges.
I'm expecting that our staff will do what they're expected to do, and we'll have the good information with the bed, and inshallah we will succeed in the real sense that is 2023.
The trial census fieldwork includes building numbering and household listing, which is built to last from 13th to 15th July 2022, as enumerators are expected to start enumeration of all people on a de facto basis after the validation exercise. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NT.
The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has dismissed a suit seeking the disqualification of the All Progressives Congress and Governor Gboyega Oyetola in the Osun State governorship election slated for Saturday. The presiding judge, Justice Inyang Eko, gave the order in a suit filed by the chieftain of the APC in Osun State. Dele Atumbi reports.
Plaintiff in the matter, who is a chieftain of the APC in Osun State, Moshood Olalekun Adeoti, participated in the party's governorship primary held on February 19, 2022 and lost to Governor Gboyega Oyetola. The plaintiff thereafter filed a suit seeking the governor's disqualification. In the originating summons, plaintiff prayed the court to nullify Governor Oyetola's candidacy on the grounds that the governor contested the primary as a member of the party's caretaker extraordinary and convention planning committee, an act that purportedly contravened the provision of section 222 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999. In a well-considered judgment of the court, Justice Inyang Eko dismissed the suit on 6 grounds: that the plaintiff, a chieftain of APC, Moshood Olalekun Adeoti, failed to disclose any meaningful course of action. The court held that the suit instituted by the former governorship aspirant constituted a gross abuse of court process and that the plaintiff did not exhaust internal mechanism before rushing to court. Justice Eko upheld the arguments of Olusegun Jolawo SAN that membership of the APC's caretaker extraordinary and convention planning committee by Governor Oyetola, in which the suit is predicated, is an ad hoc body and not the real APC's office recognized by the party's constitution.
The court dismissed the action and said there was no need to go into the merits because, first and foremost, the subject matter is an internal affair of the party. Secondly, there was no cause of action because what was being challenged was an alleged breach of the party constitution and not a breach of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria or the Electoral Act. So there was no real cause of action in the first instance.
With this verdict, there is no legal encumbrance on Governor Gboyega Oyetola's participation in the forthcoming governorship election this Saturday. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
The Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma has charged the Chief Judge of Imo State, Justice Teresa Chikeka, to ensure that measures are in place to eradicate delays in justice dispensation. He gave the charge at her swearing-in at the government house in Owerri. Beatrice Anyam reports.
Allow my personal interests to influence my official conduct. I will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the position of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The swearing-in of Justice Teresa Chikeka as the Chief Judge of Imo State and Justice Victor Kuri as President, Customary Court of Appeal, Imo State, follows the confirmation of their appointments by the Imo State House of Assembly. Also sworn into office are 7 other new judges. Governor Hope Uzodinma, while administering oath of office and allegiance, tasked them on commitment to duty. He also emphasizes the need for the judges to discharge discharge their duties according to the rules of engagement without betraying the confidence bestowed on judiciary as the last hope of the common man.
Judiciary is the last hope of the common man. But please, the gap between the common man and judiciary is too wide. And sometimes justice is becoming the most expensive product in Nigeria. But we can admit to it going forward.
We promise to abide by the rules of conduct which we have just taken. We will not be. I, with my learned brothers, will lead the Imo State Militia to another level.
Before being appointed into their substantive positions in Owerri, Beatrice Anyam, NTA News.
Cross River State Governor Professor Ben Ayade has emerged candidate of the All Progressives Congress for Cross River North Senatorial District. He was elected at a primary by-election conducted at Abuja local government headquarters. Ayade emerged unopposed as he was the sole contestant in the exercise. The by-election was necessitated by the voluntary withdrawal of Martin Urim, who had won the ticket in the initial exercise held on May 28, 2022. The chairperson of the APC Primary Election Committee for Cross River North, Samira Tabo, declared the governor winner with 252 votes. Following the completion of the 2022 Hajj rites, preparations for the airlift of Nigerian pilgrims from Saudi Arabia to Nigeria have commenced. This was the fallout of key stakeholders meeting in the Hajj operations tagged post-Arafat to review the 2022 Hajj operations for smooth return of Nigerian pilgrims. Yusuf Umar reports.
It was a gathering for critical review of activities of each sector in the 2022 Hajj operations and an avenue to strategize for his free return of Nigerians back home.
After a successful Hajj, the next thing is to return back to our family. Subject to approval by GACA, the return to Nigeria will commence on Friday, 15th of July 2022. We all hope and aspire for perfection, but perfection is never achieved. Only God is perfect.
There are some nations that could not even make the Hajj due to the late time and preparation required in preparing for Hajj. Most European nations or countries could not make it, but Alhamdulillah, our dear Commission made everything possible.
Hope that we will learn lessons, we have learned good lessons, inshallah, in order to make the Hajj of 2023 a better one.
The stakeholders commended the level of maturity on the part of Nigerian pilgrims as they presented themselves as good ambassadors of Nigeria in Saudi Arabia. 7,736 Nigerian pilgrims from the last batches flown from Nigeria to Mecca are to be transported to Medina for their religious visitations. From Mecca in Saudi Arabia, Yusuf Umar, NTA News.
And still from Saudi Arabia, we hear there are indications that Nigerian pilgrims will have a refund for some poor or failed services expected to be provided for them during their stay in Munna and Arafat. This followed an official communication by the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, on behalf of Nigerian pilgrims to the service providers in Saudi Arabia. Again, let's hear from Yusuf Umar.
The handshake and smiles among these key stakeholders in the 2022 Hajj operations are signs of fruitful discussion on the issues at stake between NACON and the Saudi Arabia company responsible for managing the affairs of non-Arab speaking countries for Hajj. The aim of the meeting is to seek refund of failed services to Nigerian pilgrims during their stay in Mashair, and as well clarification on the failure of the IBAN transaction system that incapacitated Nigerian Hajj and Umrah tour operators to access funds and other services to make their clients airlift worthy for the 2022 Hajj.
Of this transfer,
53 did not hit the account, and only as recent as the 3rd of July, 21 entered the account, and after a few minutes, it also left the account. Because of future Hajj, we will need explanation on why this happened.
And for the record, the time was extremely short, and that was not our fault.
Well, this explanation, you can't beat it. This is the real thing that happened. They opened up, and we are all very happy about it. That's all.
For Chairman Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs Adamu Bulkachua, Nigeria will continue to ensure that the country and her citizens get the best of treatment abroad. With workshops, more interactions and visitations, the Saudi company says it is now in a better position to know Nigeria and Nigerians more for effective service delivery in the forthcoming Hajj operations. In Mecca, Saudi Arabia, Yusuf Umar, NTA News.
Back home on ASUU, the Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, has reacted to a misinformation by ASUU President Professor Emmanuel Osodeke, calling on President Buhari to sign the collective bargaining agreement reached with the federal government and other unions on the renegotiation of their condition of service, salaries, allowances and wages. What is in existence is a proposal, but where CBA exists between unions and the federal government, it is not the president that signs, but the MDA is led by the director employers with the conciliating ministry witnessing. A statement by Labour Minister says instead of ASUU to follow the newly set up Professor Nimi Briggs Renegotiation Committee to do its work, ASUU accused them of non-cooperation but started fixing their salaries and allowances to the exclusion of the statutory government ministries and agencies that manage the entire annual finances of government, budget and fiscal policies, and the office of the head of civil service that is in charge of ensuring that public service rules and regulations are not undermined. In the meantime, the Presidential Committee on Salaries and Wages has finished the review of the Professor Nimi Briggs proposal and will submit same to the President. Let's talk health. Nasarawa State has confirmed 6 cases of monkeypox in 2 local government areas of the state. Victoria Ojito reports that all the patients have been treated and discharged.
While confirming the outbreak of the disease, the incident manager, Monkeypox, Nasarawa State Ministry of Health, Dr. Apang Inseabasi, said the first case of the disease was reported in Kefi local government area of the state. He maintained that 2 cases were confirmed in Kefi and 4 in Lafia local government areas.
One characteristic feature that distinguishes this monkeypox or this kind of pox virus from other pox viruses like chickenpox is the presence of lymph nodes. So lymph nodes are usually enlarged, so we look out for that. Once we get an enlarged lymph nodes, that actually tells us that this is unlikely going to be chickenpox, and that's more likely monkeypox.
According to Dr. Inseagbasi, an emergency operational center for monkeypox has been activated and healthcare workers are being sensitized and trained on the disease. So far, drugs and essential commodities have been procured and treatment obtained in all general hospitals and Federal Medical Center, Kefi.
For now, it's very important we just know that monkeypox has no specific treatment. What we do is what we call symptomatic management. If a person has symptoms as it presents, we manage. Okay, fever, will give analgesics. If they are rash, associated with itching and all that, we'll also attend to the rash. Then if there are any other comorbidities, we're going to attend to it. and most importantly is the psychological.
He said monkeypox, which is a viral disease, becomes fatal if left untreated for between 2 to 4 weeks. In the meantime, general hygiene is said to be key in the prevention of monkeypox and other diseases. In Lafia, Victoria Kaswa Uchito, NT News.
Wife of the Benue State Governor, Dr. Eunice Otom, has reiterated her determination to ensure that drug abuse is eradicated in the society, particularly at the secondary school level. She made this known during a one-day sensitization organized by her foundation, Eunice Spring of Life, in partnership with the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Benue State. Ivan Solomon reports that students from various schools across the state turned up in their numbers in the event.
And its negative effects on the society has continued to be a worry to stakeholders, government and the general public. The United Nations World Statistics Report 2018 reveals that about 3 million Nigerians between ages 14 to 65 are already indulging in drug abuse.
It has become important and pertinent that effort must be intensified to fight against this hydra-headed problem called drug abuse.
Education you have gained at this meeting is all to help you prevent a lifestyle that will destroy your life.
I want to pledge that the ministry, the department of public health develop a protocol that will be presented in excellence so that we can establish drug rehabilitation centers in zone A, in zone B, and zone C.
This event has been so helpful to me. I learned the definition of drug abuse and ways which we can prevent drug abuse. And then if we notice anyone indulging in such acts, you should report the person to the nearest agency concerned, which is NDLEA.
The abuse of drug is very dangerous to your health, and you should try to avoid drug abuse at all times.
In Makudi, Iverin Solomon, NTA News.
Right, let's head to Enugu to join Chinenye. She'll bring us the next set of reports.
Thank you so much, Ruth. Welcome to Enugu. Key players in the manufacturing and export sector have been urged to engage the services of Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, in order to grow their businesses within and outside the country. These were the highlights of a stakeholder sensitization forum held in Enugu. James Operekocha reports.
Every manufacturer produces goods and services to meet international standards. However, not many of them understand the procedures to follow in achieving these. This is why the Standard Organization of Nigeria organized a stakeholders conference in Enugu to sensitize their clients on the way to achieving quality products that can be acceptable in the international community. On behalf of the Director General's son, the Director of Southeast Region, Fred Akingwesote, enumerated the process to follow to include quality infrastructure, standardization, technological innovations, and conformity assessment, among others.
We have good quality product being produced, but because of ignorance, and that's why the DG is investing so much time, energy, and resources to make sure that this type of sensitization program is being carried out everywhere.
Senior Special Assistant to the DG, Chief Emeka Duru, advised Southeast businessmen to avail themselves the facilities and expertise of SON located in the Southeast and over 40 other cities across Nigeria and upgrade their products.
The challenges we have with substandard products out of ignorance of the stakeholders. So this sensitization program have been started to ensure that stakeholders get the necessary information about SON.
Some of the papers delivered at the event: standardization, panacea for economic growth, driving industrialization with quality products. Others include ports and borders, as well as metrology. There were goodwill messages from Enugu State Government, related parastatals, as well as key stakeholders of SON. From Enugu, James Oparikocha, NTA News.
The national president, Nigerian Union of Pensioners, Godwin Abumisi, says going by the provisions of the new Pensions Reforms Act, every retired public servant in Nigeria should get his entitlement as and when due. He was speaking during a reception organized in East Ano by the Enugu State government. Susan Eze reports.
The Enugu State government is hosting the new president of the National Union of Pensioners, Godwin Ikechukwu Abumisi, from Obelagomana, Ezagu local government area of Enugu State. The NUP president, who described Governor Ugwuanyi as a pension and labor-friendly governor, decried the negligence their members suffer in the hands of some other state governors. NUP, he stated, is pleased to associate with the Enugu State government.
We have listed the names of state governors who are not labor and pensioner friendly. I'm proudly say to Enugu people that our dear governor is not on that list.
Other labor leaders from the zone also shared same thoughts with the president. On behalf of Governor Ugwuanyi, the Deputy Cecilia Ezilo stated that despite the harsh economic condition, government bears the 630 million naira monthly wage bill of about 12,000 pensioners with commitment and diligence.
For us in Enugu, we enjoy a comfortable working relationship with the state pensioners. We should continue to fulfill our obligations to the pensioners, given the resources available to the state.
The new president of the NUP is the first person from the Southeast Zone to occupy the position in the history of the union. In Enugu, Susan Eze, NTA News.
And those are the stories from Enugu. Do not forget you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at www.nta.ng/live and on all our social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. We'll take another break here. Nationwide will continue with Roots in Abuja thereafter. Do stay.
Have your PVC ready. Conduct yourselves orderly. Join the queue. Cast your vote secretly. Thumbprint correctly. Do not waste your vote. Do not sell your vote. Secure your future. If you sell your vote, you have sold good roads, electricity, water, education, good health care, etc. Be part of nation building. Cast your vote for honest candidates. Shun electoral violence. You could lose your life for nothing, for nothing, for nothing. This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
Why should we be in a difficult situation financially?
Once upon a time we were rich, but we're not a rich country anymore.
Disaster management is everybody's business.
In all these times, the organization turned to Nigeria.
We would as much want to harness the capacity that is within us so that we see how we can become self-reliant.
1 month ended, I said, we are increasing warning strike by 2 months. I mean, you are incubating madness.
Even if these are officials of government who have been told to go and enforce the law and they have gone against the law itself, they must be held accountable.
1-on-1, Friday, 10:30 p.m. on NTA Network.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you in your living room, office, everywhere and anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview UK channel 264, or you can download www.visiontv.co.uk, app for iOS or Android. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's biggest window to the world.
Lalo! Nigeria are the 9th champions in this competition.
The 12th edition of the Africa Women's Cup of Nations is here with 12 teams including reigning champions and 9-time winners Super Falcons of Nigeria, all in contention from July 2 to 23 in Rabat, Morocco. You can catch all the actions live on the NTA Network Service and NTA Sports 24, channel 270 on Star Times, 434 on StarSat and 731 on Free TV. Come, join us to promote another championship round by the Super Falcons. For your advert placement, please call Hawa on 0803 312 1022. Africa Women's Cup of Nations, Rabat 2022. Game on!
Welcome back. The federal government is working with its agencies, the academia and the business community to articulate strategies and actionable steps towards ensuring the development of employable skills for job creation. Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, Mariam Katagum, was speaking at the second National Skills Summit in Abuja. Benny Adams reports.
The federal government is worried about the lack of a comprehensive national skills policy for driving skills development in Nigeria, which is believed to be a prerequisite to developing employable skills for job creation. To this end, the second National Skills Summit is desirous of actionable steps to include labor market information system that will provide the essential basis for employment and labor policies. The creation of Sector Skills Council that will support employers of labor in the development and management of apprenticeship standards to address skills gaps and improve overall productivity in the economy.
Ensure the development of employable skills to enhance job creation in order to conquer mediocrity and tackle the challenges of poverty and unemployment that is bedeviling our dear nation.
For industry players, the current model of learning needs to be upgraded to meet current market demands.
In what ways can we encourage our youths to embrace apprenticeship for employability and entrepreneurship?
One thing to have skill is one thing to be able to run it successfully as a business, and that's where we will come in as an agency.
Representatives of government agencies, the academia and the business community here are also deliberating on an effective policy to balance demand and supply of labor needs, among other policies. In Abuja, Benny Adams, NTA News.
The National Council on Privatization says the board composition of the Benin Electricity Distribution Company (BEDC) and the 4 others was concluded on July 5th, 2022. 3 clear days before the purported interim court order of the Federal High Court obtained by BEDC. In a statement by the Director General of the Bureau of Public Enterprises, Alex Oko, the Secretariat of the NCP said it was imperative to put the records straight. The financiers of the discos notified NCP that they have activated a call on the collateralized shares of the investors in BEDC. BPE is involved because of the 40% shareholding of the government in the BEDC and the federal government. In order to safeguard the industry and support market stabilization, decided to appoint a new board for BEDC. The statement noted that the federal government would work to ensure no service disruptions during these transitions, as it remained committed to supporting the Nigerian electricity supply industry to serve Nigerians better. Let's take sports update.
9-time winners and Super Falcons of Nigeria will this evening in Casablanca take on the indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon in one of the 2 remaining quarterfinals